Okay, so it looks like I'm back with another of my filtered drone shots videos. This segment unfiltered. And then the first filter kicking in here. Boom. That's a beautiful filter. A lot of these are really stunning. I'm really glad that I started using the LUT filters. If you're not familiar with LUT filters, you're a drone enthusiast, might want to check into that. Up to you. This was an area between Port St. Joe and Cape San Blas, Florida, that I found, which I thought looked like it would be a good place to fly the drone and get some good shots. A beautiful, heavily forested area, and convenient enough so that I could pull off the road and park and not get struck by oncoming traffic. Now, if you are one of those people who enjoys being struck by oncoming traffic, well, those opportunities exist as well. Just me now, just myself, and I'm not biased in any way, but I just happen to be one of those people that doesn't enjoy being struck by oncoming traffic. I just wanted to make that clear, okay? I'm not choosing a political candidate here. I'm not identifying with any parties or anything like that. So let's just move on. But anyway, check out the colors on this. I like how these filters can be used to take a background color such as brown and change it to blue or pink as it was in the previous segment there. But there's just really wonderful things you can do with the right filters if you know what you're doing. And I'm not saying that I know what I'm doing. I'm just beginning to experiment with these filters. I think they're fascinating. It provides wonderful imagery. They can help you to see a lot more detail. You know, 4K video is 4K video. It's good high resolution video. But quite often, a lot of the detail is hidden beneath, say, glare or an overabundance of lighting or whatever. These filters really bring out a lot of things that you don't see in the plain, unfiltered, high-resolution video. That's just my take on it. What do I know? So anyway, today is October 21st, 2024. Winter is not even here yet, and I'm already looking forward to next spring, or our next trip down to the North Florida area, whether that be Mexico Beach or Cape San Blas or St. George Island or wherever, maybe even the other side of the state, St. Augustine. We really like St. Augustine, but can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. The main thing, I'm ready for this election to come and go. My God. This is brutal. And I pray to God they don't do again what they did last time. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll tell you what. I spent the last 8 days in bed with the strangest illness I've ever contracted. Seemed like the flu, but with me, the flu is usually over after 2 or 3 days. This went on for 8 days, 2 doctor's visits, and finally I think they got me on the right stuff, which started with a steroid shot, some chest x-rays. They put me on some antibiotics. I think I'm finally going to kick this, but my God, for several days I was either in bed or on the couch covered up with a quilt and thinking that I am about to die. Well, I made it. I'm back to narrating videos again, so looks like everything's going to be okay. Or at least we hope so. We hope so. Now here we are, back out at the entry point onto Cape San Blas. Little public park here. Some basketball goals, volleyball net, screened in picnic areas, grills, public bathrooms. Nice little place to bring the family and grill out. Take a walk down the pier, maybe cast a line in the water. This area here is kind of grassy. A lot of crabs down in there though, a lot of crabs. Now myself, I am no longer a crab eater. For the last several years of my life, I have become what they call shellfish intolerant, shall we say. Now, little Norita, on the other hand, she's one of those Filipino gals, and let's just say there's no species of fish or crab that she will not eat. I'll just leave it at that, right there. You see, Filipinos don't practice much discrimination when it comes to the consumption of marine species, shall we say. But who am I to judge? We all have our own preferences. Mine just so happened to be a nice rare steak, some potatoes, various greens, fried chicken, corn pone, sow belly, black-eyed peas, maybe even some squirrel and rattlesnake here and there. And like I say, to each his own. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Now I'll just leave it at that. Okay? Okay. Now look, I grew up in the country, learning how to fend for myself. There ain't no way in hell I'd go walking through this area right here, not without some good protection. That's a good place to run up on some nice, merciless, venomous snakes, alligators, God knows what else. Ain't no telling what's out there, folks. There just ain't no telling. No telling at all. Sometimes it's just best not to know. You see, man, for decades and decades, has been turning all kinds of exotic species from other areas of the planet, turning them loose right here in Florida. And they hybridize with the local native species, and the offspring are these god-awful monsters that are the stuff of nightmares, things that boggle the mind. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. The word chimera comes to mind. The words abomination of nature comes to mind. Yes, my friend. Yes. You see, being swamp-wise can be quite a good skill to have. It can be a good skill, but it can also put you in a mighty bad position one day. You see, my fine feathered friend, you're out there one day thinking that you found this place where you're going to catch you some fish. And then it turns out that some weird fish-like species has caught you. And what are you going to do? And who are you going to call when nobody can hear you scream? But that's none of my business. And who am I to judge? I'll just leave it at that. None of my business. So I don't go to places like that. I just fly my drone over them, okay? I just fly my drone over them and take video. That's it. Now here we are back at the beach where I feel relatively safe compared to some of the other places that I sometimes find myself. Now this is not Cape San Blas. This is back over at Mexico Beach. Mexico Beach, which was absolutely devastated, absolutely leveled by 2018 Category 5 Hurricane Michael. 160 mile an hour sustained winds, 210 mile an hour wind gusts. My God. Hard to imagine what could survive that. So they're still under reconstruction years later, and will be for many more years to come. And that's ifin'. And I say ifin'. They don't get wiped out by another one in the near future, which very well could happen. I think a lot of people are beginning to pull their heads out of their anuses these days and realizing that a lot of these so-called weather events aren't exactly natural, if you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. Yeah, everything you see here is new construction. All of it. All new construction. Amazing how some of these communities are able to come together and rebuild after being so thoroughly wiped out. So anyway, one of the reasons that we prefer this area, other than the quiet, solitude, some of the cleanest water you'll ever behold. So clean. Partially because of nearby Tyndall Air Force Base, which regularly dredges this water. I guess that has something to do with it, huh? Species protection, things of that nature. But also because it's one of those places where if you're a fisherman, every cast you're going to get a bite. You may not catch something with every cast, but you're going to get a bite. If you just get some raw shrimp and peel those before you put them on the hook, stand there knee deep in the water on the edge of the beach, you're going to catch flounder, pompano, mackerel, several other species. Very good fishing each and every time. Very, very reliable, consistent fishing. So anyway, I'm kind of tired of talking. I pretty much ran out of shit to talk about. So I guess I'm going to shut up now. Maybe play some guitar for the rest of this video. Maybe some keyboards. We'll see. Whatever strikes my fancy, you know? Whatever seems to go best with the video. But for now, I think I'm going to just shut my mouth, get the hell on out of here, and give you a break from listening to my bullshit. Okay? I appreciate you listening. And I bid your ass adieu, ladies. Adieu.